Take a look at this one. 1974 Cadillac Eldorado. And what other color, of course, than black? That is the original color this car would have came from Cadillac back in 74. 19K paint code. So sable black, and the K would be for the black padded vinyl roof, which it still has. Interior, 452 trim, which would be white Sierra grain leather with black dash carpeting, and we'll get around to that in a second. Now take a look at this front grille, headlight surrounds, bumper, little change up of the hood ornament. But you can see nice chrome in this, nice headlight surrounds, grille, great condition. Any of the bright work up here. Part of the reason I believe that is in such good shape. Previous owner of this car states it is an original mile car at 34,360 plus or minus. And I'm going to show you some things as we go around this that would really lead me to believe that yes, this is a lower mile solid car. Now, if you want to check out the still pictures so you can see what I'm talking about, take your time looking through areas of the car from the top to the bottom, engine bay, interior. Still pictures can be seen at uniqueclassiccars.com. Click on the link down below this video in the description. It's going to take you right there. And you can always call us 507-386-1726. Now, first off, with any black paint car, you're going to have imperfections if it's a little older black paint. Some touch-ups up on the top of this. But let me show you something else. Look at the reflection coming off of this car. You can see this, and it's very fitting, the Cadillac sign on the wall adjacent to the car. Look at the reflection coming off of that, and the roof for that matter. Now, you're also going to have, like I said, little imperfections. Here's a little touch up, and you can see this line there. That's the difference in the pad right here and the concrete floor. So you are getting the reflection coming off of that car. Look at the showroom behind me. So the paint has a nice luster to it, but it does show its age some. There are some light scratching. I'll get to the back. I'll show you where it's checking just a little bit. But here's one thing I want to show you. I'm going to start at the back of this car. And you know how a long car with black paint, if it's had a bunch of bodywork, filler to it, it's going to be wavy. It is not going to have a reflection coming off of it and be that clean. Yeah, it'll have a reflection, but it's not going to show it as straight and mirror-like as this car does. Look up and down that car. You can tell it has not been, filled with putty. It appears that this is a solid car and always had been. Take a look up and down the front of that to the rear. And you know what I'm talking about. If you know black paint on a long panel, if it's not done right, or if it's been filled with a bunch of putty and bodywork, it's going to show. This appears that could be all original sheet metal. You never know, but as straight as that is. Now remember, we do consider trades. Financing is available. Of course, we can assist with transportation, and this vehicle may be eligible for an extended service contract. Consult with your sales associate when you call in or email. Now there's a couple things, some extra belts with it, came with it. Little center console that sits down on the floor. There was a switch for the power antenna. I'm going to get into the stereo system in a second. There's an amp box that you can see for a stereo, and also a windshield washer pump. Those will be with it, and I'll explain that stereo and that amp here in just a little bit. Now for the paint in the back of this, you can see there's a few spots where it's checking, as we call it, but again, the luster to it, and the minute you just step back a little bit, so it's one of those, you'll hear them called 5 or 10 footers, but here, take a look at that. There's that sign again on the adjacent wall. So this car is still going to show well. Any of your local roll-ins, out for a cruise, local car shows, still shows well, but I just want to let you know there are some imperfections in the paint. These extensions coming out the rear of the fenders and the bumpers, I believe 74 was the first year of that, to keep up with the 5-mile-an-hour bumper standards that had been put into motion by the government. All right, take a look up and down this driver's side. Look at how straight that is again. Look at the reflection. You'll see the showroom behind me on this side all the way to the front door. There it is. And again, just look at how straight it is. You can tell it's just not full of Bondo putty. Hasn't had a bunch of work done to it. All right, once again, now those still pictures. Look at the underside of this car, the engine bay, the interior still pictures can be seen at uniqueclassiccars.com. Click on the link down below this video in the description. Going to take you right there, and our phone number, once again, 507-386-1726. Now, underneath the hood, we talked about the body, original colors. Underneath the hood, 500 8.2 liter V8. We're going to start this up so you can hear it in a little bit. Power steering, power brakes, AC blows cold. Be paired up with a 3-speed automatic transmission. Some of the recent work that's been done to this car: new battery, water pump, and alternator were all done in the recent past. All right, now let's go ahead and check out this interior. Let me pull that key so you don't have to listen to that. All right, first off, start with the door panels. Take a look. The ornate finishing on these all look original. You can see still pictures with the mat out of the car, the carpeting, great shape. The solid white one-piece floor mat going across, great look in this car. Of course, the bench seat up front. Now, here's that white Sierra grain leather. And to me, it looks original. I'm gonna get right down on top of it. I mean, yeah, you have your natural wear, some natural wrinkling, but you do not see the cracking. You do not see the rips, tears, holes that you're gonna have with a high-mile car. That's one of the things that leads me to believe that seat coincides with the miles on this car. Also, headliner. It does not look like the headliner's been replaced. Headliner in great shape. I also want to show you power seat. Working in nice order. All right. Let's check out this back seat too, because I want to show you this. Here's probably why the front seats look so good. I'm assuming once upon a time it had the old plastic seat cover like you've seen so much in the late 60s and mostly into the 70s. So you know what kind of shape that's in. Underneath that, look like the front one. All right, dash. Take a look at the top of the dash. Guess what? Not cracked, sun baked, showing any sort of weathering. All right. Okay. Now, let me get into this dash a second so I can show you. This switch right here, that is basically an ignition kill switch, security. If I click that to the left and try to start this car, it's not going to start. I click that back to the right, it'll initiate the ignition. Boom, car's going to start right up and idle nicely. Now, this right here is for a Bluetooth device. If your phone has Bluetooth, any sort of Bluetooth device, this is where your stereo basically works and volumes powers up from, is right here. Sounds great, has aftermarket speakers in it, has that amp that I showed you from the box, and you run the stereo by that, and you didn't have to mess up any part of the dash. Now, I'm using my phone for this video. I can't get the Bluetooth going to show you how the stereo works. You got any questions on that, consult with your sales associate. They'll know how to show you how video of it or how it'll work. If you want to know about that, I can show them how it works and get that to you. There's your miles, 34,373. Again, believed to be actual. Fuel gauge working. This radio, by the way, powers up and works. Stereo come on. It is just not hooked up to the speakers, I'm assuming, due to the fact they wanted a more modern Bluetooth radio. Other thing to take a look at is this dash, and look again how ornate that is. Everything there and in good shape. All right, climate control over here. Let's go ahead and go to auto, which kicks in the cold air. AC does blow cold. It has been converted, it looks like, from the R12 to the updated. Yes, I'd definitely say that is cold. I don't know about ice cold, but cold. All right, slip around to the back of this thing here and run. As you'd expect, I mean, no crazy exhaust, anything like that. It's a nice running 74 Eldorado. All right, I'm going to pause this real quick. Just pop the hood, give you a quick look at the engine bay. And
hey, did you know that this car qualifies for an extended warranty? It's just like the one you get at your new car dealership, except it covers your classic car instead. It covers all the major components like engine, transmission, drivetrain, and you can get coverage up to 10 years. Repairs aren't cheap. These extended warranties are a no-brainer. Contact us for a quote on this car today.
Here it is, 8.2 liter, big 500 V8. Again, power steering, power brakes. This is kind of interesting. Looks like a cold air intake back in 74. A little more power out of that 500. Flip around to this side. And again, you can see that it has been converted from the R12 and a smooth running engine. And again, that is paired up with a 3-speed automatic transmission. And you can see it's nice and tidy too. There's the battery. It said it was a newer battery. It's put in 19, so a couple years old. And again, alternator, which you can see that over there. Alternator, also newer, as well as what was it, water pump. So this car has been maintained. Once again, still pictures, uniqueclassiccars.com. Click on the link down below this video in the description. It's going to take you right there. Remember, you can always call us 507-386-1726. Now, we do consider trades. Financing is available. Of course, we can assist with the transportation of this beauty, and it may be eligible for an extended service contract. Consult with your sales associate when you call in or email.